Novel story Lady Susan. Reviewed by Nur FITRIAH, Institut Agama Islam Negeri Jember, East Java, Indonesia. Losing a loved one is a very painful event for those who experience it. Crying, lamenting, and losing your appetite are very common things for people who are left behind. Feeling of loss will last. Smiles and laughter disappear, like sky without suns and only clouds waiting for rains. However, this didn't happen to a woman named Lady Susan, a widow whose husband died. Answering the meaning of these sentences, I conducted a book review to provide an overview of the character of Lady Susan in this novel. So you can judge by yourselves the pros and cons of the main character in the novel entitled Lady Susan by Jane Austen. There are 42 chapters in this novel that tell about the life of Lady Susan. This novel is different from the usual novel because the story is packaged in the form of correspondence between characters. The story begins when Lady Susan leaves Langford and stays at her brother's house, Mr. Fernand's, at Churchill after her husband died. Besides economic matters, Lady Susan must face society views of her flirtatious self. In fact, there are those who think she ran away because she had taken a man who was engaged, although her age was far away. Lady Susan is indeed described by Austen as a woman that has extraordinary beauty, although she is 35 years old. However, what most dangerous about her was her words. Listeners who comes with a lot of hatred for her can change 180 degrees to love her. This happened to Mrs. Fernand's brother, Reginald. Sir Reginald is an educated young man who will inherit his family's fortunes. When he was about to visit his sister's house, she had already been ordered about the dangers of Lady Susan. Even his sister, who is a woman, could be overwhelmed by Lady Susan. Not much to things, Lady Susan had already hit her target on Reginald. With such a tug of war, it didn't take long. Reginald had already fallen on her embrace. The next case is against Mrs. Fernand, who was on standby when this happened. Mr. Fernand's house gets even more crowded when Lady Susan's daughter, Frederica, arrives after trying to run away because she refuses an arranged marriage. Besides that, the man who was about to be married with Frederica turned out to be infatuated with Lady Susan. After leaving school and refusing an arranged marriage, Frederica falls in love with Reginald, her mother's target. Lady Susan is furious. This complicated situation endangers Lady Susan, because his family would certainly prefer Frederica, who was younger than Reginald. On the other hand, Frederica was afraid to accept because she was afraid of Lady Susan, who was raised her without affections. The depiction of the story in the form of correspondence between characters is a plus and uniqueness of this novel when compared to the usual novels. However, although this novel has the advantage described above, it also has its disadvantage. The depictions of the story in the form of correspondence makes it difficult for readers who are not used to reading stories in this style to digest the stories, so that it makes readers less able to understand and enjoy the storyline of this novel. In my opinion, for readers who want to try new things in reading, I recommend this novel. However, for readers who are not familiar with the style of storyline that is not like the usual novel, I don't recommend this novel for you. But, I said it again, those are just suggestions for me. It's you who decide whether to read it or not.